It was 6 days later when I found out about it, and our university military training was nearing its end. The four of us in the dorm had just finished a 6 p.m. training report performance, exhausted beyond measure, slumping in our chairs too tired to even groan, each of us absorbed in our phones. After all, there was still a bonfire event at 8 p.m. to bid farewell to the instructors and to put a perfect end to our military training.
Hey, Emma, you're on the confession wall.
Sarah dragged her chair over, thrusting her phone in my face, visibly excited.
Emma, you're doing great.
Huh? What? I want to see too.
Let me have a look as well.
Despite our exhaustion, the allure of gossip was irresistible. The two across from us also rushed over.
Hey, don't snatch my phone. I'll post it in the dorm group.
Feeling a bit flattered, I opened the post. But it wasn't a confession to me. It was about a boy in a white shirt. I was momentarily stunned.
Sarah, this is clearly about a handsome guy. Is this supposed to be a confession to Emma? You really need to get your eyes checked.
Shut up and read the comments, you idiot.
I followed her advice and read the comments.
Freshman, this is Ethan from the physics department. The campus forum's confession wall is full of his handsome photos. You might find his contact info there. I'm here to confess to the girl with the bun. +1, confessing to the campus heartthrob at Tongchuan University is nothing new. I clicked in because of her. The girl in the back is so cute, like a little hamster. Is she gender neutral? She's super sweet. I thought I was the only one attracted by the sweet girl in the back. Crosses arms at JPG.
There were even photos of me from the past few days of military training in the comments. Confession? You all are the ones being confessed to. The bonfire event was about to start. After dinner, we returned to our respective units. The rising bonfire in the center of the field illuminated the area, complemented by the field lights, making the entire field much brighter. First, 3 random platoons formed a circle, drawing lots or volunteering to perform. We were in a circle with 2 male platoons, sitting on the artificial turf, but everyone was quite reserved. The instructor held a microphone and asked,
"Who do you want to see perform here?"
Emma.
Emma? It seems you're very popular. Emma, step forward.
It looks like everyone is a 5G surfing expert.
Serious, I dreaded standing in the center, becoming the focus of everyone's attention. At that moment, I wished I could bury my head in the sand like an ostrich. Cheerful looks like Emma is a bit shy. Let's give her a round of applause to encourage her.
The applause was deafening, and they even chanted my name in unison like a cheer squad.
Emma. Emma.
I tried to look up and refused several times, but seeing the instructor's face, I shrank back each time.
Surprised, Ethan. What are you doing here?
I looked outside the circle, startled. The boy stood with his back to the bonfire, his black hair glinting with a golden hue. He looked like a deity descending from the heavens. He was the boy I had secretly admired for 3 years in high school.
Cheerful, I'm here to see how you're challenging our new freshman. I've got all the evidence.
Ethan held up his DSLR camera, capturing moments from the military training bonfire night for the school's website.
Friendly, you rascal.
The instructor playfully hit Ethan on the head, but didn't press me any further. Instead, he picked up the microphone and introduced Ethan to everyone.
Excited, this is Ethan, a top cadet from last year's training. He was a sharpshooter, always hitting the bullseye. And cheerful, don't listen to Instructor Wang's exaggerations. I'm not as great as he says.
The instructor, not willing to back down, continued to tussle with Ethan for the microphone.
Whispering Emma, when the boys were chanting your name, The instructor suddenly called out Ethan's name. Puzzled what about it? Excited, I immediately thought of the poem I memorized in high school. Green, green is the robe, and my heart is filled with longing. You two look so perfect together, it's fate.
Having someone link my crush with me made my heart soar with joy. I felt a sweetness in my heart, like it was coated with honey. Just as I was about to thank Sophia, the instructor walked over, hearing our conversation.
Stern, hey, what are you two chatting about?
Sophia, right?
What were you saying about a perfect match? Nervous, I was just reminded of a high school poem by their names. Green, green is the robe, and my heart is filled with longing.
As soon as she said that, everyone around us started making various noises, some even agreeing.
Cheerful, I think so, too.
My heart pounded like crazy. My face felt incredibly hot, visibly red. I couldn't help but glance at Ethan again. Our eyes met unexpectedly, and my heart felt like a deer frantically running around. I froze for 3 seconds before quickly looking away. My face felt even hotter, as if steam was rising from my head.
Stern, stop. Stop.
He made a halting gesture and smiled at Sophia.
Serious, since you miss high school poetry so much, why don't you come up and recite short song style? Let's give her a round of applause.
Sophia walked up to the stage with a mournful expression, holding the microphone and starting to recite the poem.
Serious, facing the wine, I sing. Life is but a fleeting moment. Excited, what can dispel sorrow?
Only the come.
Ethan picked up his camera and started photographing Sophia. In high school, the season Emma dreaded the most was summer. She was overweight, and the moment she started sweating, the smell was overwhelming. Her classmates, particularly the boys, often mocked her cruelly.
Emma, you must eat a lot to be this heavy. You stink. It's disgusting.
Damn it, I'm so unlucky to have to sit next to her.
One day, just like today, Ethan appeared out of nowhere, like a divine being, and addressed the boys who were mocking Emma in the hallway.
Guys, it's really low to make fun of a girl like that.
That was when Emma's secret admiration for him began.
Emma and Ethan, my heart longs for you.
Sophia finished reciting short song style, then awkwardly sat down next to Emma, hugging her arm in embarrassment. It seemed like her 4-year search for a partner had come to an abrupt end. Once the first person went up, the atmosphere naturally became lively. There were countless talents: street dancing, singing, guitar playing, and comedy acts that drew continuous applause and laughter. Ethan left at some point without anyone noticing.
All right, camp leaders, please arrange for each squad leader to form a large circle around the bonfire. Report back in 5 minutes.
The instructor ordered them to stand up and arrange them in an orderly manner. The radio played a continuous stream of popular songs, accompanying their steps as they sang along. 5 minutes later, after the report, the music stopped and the microphone voice came again.
All instructors, step out and return to your positions. Students, please sit down. Now, let's hear a few words from the principal.
The instructors left the formation, and the principal began to speak.
The military training has officially begun. Thank you to the instructors. Let's set off fireworks to bid farewell to them.
The radio played songs again, and fireworks lit up the sky. Walking along this path, stopping and starting, the farewell touched everyone's hearts. Many people turned on their phone flashlights, waving them and singing along with the radio. Back when I first encountered this world, everything was so captivating. Emma sat on the grass, not knowing when the formation had become sparse and disorganized. Her classmates around her gradually stood up to sing.
You're Emma, right? Ethan walked up to her and showed her the photos on his camera. Sorry, I took a picture of you. Do you like it?
In the photo, Emma was in her military training uniform with a bun, her dark hair messily falling over her forehead, illuminated by a soft white light. She was caught in the frame as she turned her head, her smile as gentle as a chrysanthemum, her doe-like eyes lively and charming.
Yes, it's nice, she said nonchalantly, smiling and nodding at him.
He must remember me. Otherwise, why would he take my picture? Yes, he must remember.
So, Junior, shall we add each other on WeChat? I'll send you the photo.
No need, she said, her smile fading as she slowly shook her head, stepping back to put some distance between them, holding back her tears. Please delete it, thank you.
He doesn't remember me. How could he? The person he likes isn't me. It was just my high school self-deception. Without looking back at him, Emma ran out of the field. Not far from the field, she could still hear the radio and her classmates singing, soothing the scars left by memories. The dark sky was illuminated by bursts of fireworks, and my eyes were clouded with mist as tears flowed uncontrollably. My heart ached with every beat. In high school, after Ethan helped fend off those boys, I started to unconsciously get closer to him.
Ethan, can I borrow your math notebook? Good morning, Ethan.
I never missed any chance to see him. Sometimes, Ethan would smile at me when he passed by, or give me some small snacks and milk tea.
How are you doing? Don't listen to what others say.
He was the only one in high school who didn't mock me for being overweight. I was drawn to his light. Until senior year, when Ethan was accepted into Tongchuan University, he asked me to meet him in the music room after school. It was then that I realized, when you secretly admire someone, their kindness and countless good deeds can make you believe, perhaps he likes you too. I left school early and ran to the music room. Before I could knock, I heard a girl's soft laughter and a boy's gentle voice from inside.
I like you. Will you go to Tongchuan University with me?
Ethan was confessing to another girl. Just like tonight, I ran away humbly, not listening any further. My mind couldn't shake off all the kindness and gentle smiles he had shown me in the past. But none of that could compare to the heartache of hearing his heartfelt confession to another girl in the music room. 1,000 questions in my heart turned into self-blame, and countless times of getting close to him only made me feel more insignificant. Yet, when I saw him again on the confession wall, my heart still beat for him. Every meeting made my heart flutter. I calmed myself, wiped away my tears, and took out my phone to delete the photo I had saved from the confession wall today. Ethan might already be with the person he likes, and there's no need for me to disturb him. Keeping his contact information would only add to my pain. Let this secret admiration remain in my heart forever. The military training ended, and university classes officially began. Our dormitory was filled with students from the Art Institute's painting department. Because of my unintended appearance on the confession wall, I became known as the sweet girl of Tongchuan University. I appeared in popular videos and my fame spread quickly. Suddenly, boys started pursuing me, inviting me to dinner and movies, leaving notes with their contact information on my desk, or giving me milk tea. I felt an inexplicable aversion. They were all strangers who liked me for my looks. What if I became the overweight girl I once was? Would they discard me like the boys in high school and middle school did? So, I rejected them all with a blank expression, ignoring the things they sent. But my rise to fame was as quick as my fall. As expected, blurry photos of me from the college entrance exam surfaced on the campus forum. My face was particularly chubby, my eyes squeezed small by my plump cheeks, with no smile at all. Soon, many true and false photos of my past appeared, and the comment section was filled with insults.
Ugh, I pursued her, and now I feel like vomiting. Just thinking about chasing a girl who had cosmetic surgery makes me sick.
The sweet girl turned into a fat pig. 666.
Ugly people cause more trouble. She wouldn't even look at me.
The girls in my dorm were quite indignant.
Are the guys on the campus forum out of their minds?
It's typical. If they can't have it, they'll destroy it. Even someone as outstanding as Eileen Gu has guys saying she has a cold constitution and can't have kids. A bunch of idiots.
Emma? Are you okay? She glanced at me cautiously as I sat drawing. Today is the student club recruitment fair. Want to go check it out and take your mind off things?
I put down my pencil, turning to Olivia with a smile.
Sure, let's go take a look.
Actually, this situation was expected, but my mood did fluctuate. I'm somewhat introverted and usually calm myself by drawing alone. But things are different now. It's time for a change. The club recruitment fair was bustling with activity, 100 clubs vying for attention. Distracted, I lost track of my friends. Since I was already there, I thought I might as well join a club. I saw the photography club and felt a bit interested, so I walked over to check out their poster.
Hey, Emma! Here to check out the photography club?
I looked towards a voice. It was James, a guy who had pursued me a few days ago. Despite my clear rejection, he kept pestering me.
Yes, so what?
Huh, you still have the nerve to reject me? I posted your high school photos on the campus forum. If you become my girlfriend, I might consider letting you off.
As he finished speaking, he reached out to touch my face. I stepped back a few paces, frowning at him. I really wanted to slap him right then. Suddenly, a shadow loomed behind me, and a gentle yet deep voice whispered in my ear.
Back off.
It was Ethan's voice. I saw his pale, slender hand grab James by the collar and throw him to the ground.
Are you crazy?
A guy gets rejected by a girl and then maliciously slanders her online. As a college student, you should not only bear legal responsibility but also apologize to her.
What I do is none of your business.
The two started grappling in front of everyone. The crowd grew larger until security and some other guys came to break them up. The three of us were taken to the school security office.
The school is a place for studying, not for fighting. Who started it?
James, seizing the opportunity, pointed at Ethan with his bruised face.
It was him. I accidentally bumped into Emma, and he just started hitting me for no reason.
I stepped forward before the director could speak, glaring at James with a voice as cold as ice.
James, you're not a child anymore. If you're lying, we can discuss this at the police station.
Hearing the mention of the police station, James looked nervous, being just a freshman.
What do you mean? Why go to the police? He hit me first.
What's going on? Why involve the police? Emma, you explain.
I took out my phone and showed the director the trending post, pretending to be aggrieved.
James maliciously defamed me on the campus forum and posted my college entrance exam photos without my permission, causing the issue to escalate online, which is against the law. Today, he also threatened and harassed me, and Ethan stood up for me. James is trying to lie to you to get away with it.
Is that true?
James, exposed, turned red with anger and embarrassment.
You're lying. I didn't post anything on the forum. Do you have any evidence? Director, no matter what, he hit me first. You have to stand up for me.
Ethan pinned James to the ground and took out his phone from his pocket, his injuries making him look less gentle and more fierce.
Your phone has the evidence. Emma, call the police.
All right.
I picked up my phone to call the police. James started to panic, his face pressed against the ground as he mumbled apologies.
No, I'm sorry.
I stopped calling but warned him.
I've been recording since the beginning. If you harass me again, we'll meet at the police station next time.
Although Ethan was helping someone, he still hit James and was reprimanded. James received a major demerit, probation, a 3,000-word reflection, and had to publicly apologize to me on the campus forum. After leaving the security office, the sunset painted the clouds in vibrant colors. It was the first time Ethan and I walked side by side on campus.
Thank you for today.
I had many questions like, why did you help me? Why were you there? But sometimes asking too many questions would reveal my feelings for him. He already had a girlfriend, and my affection would only trouble him. In the end, all I could say was thank you.
It's nothing. I was recruiting for the student council and saw you. I wanted to apologize for taking your photo last time, but then I heard what he said about you and got angry.
You took a nice photo. I wasn't mad. Shall I accompany you to the infirmary to check your wounds?
It's just a minor injury. It'll heal in a few days. Emma, are you hungry? Shall I take you to the cafeteria for dinner?
Emma stood there in a daze for a moment, biting her lip, wanting to ask but hesitating.
Why are you so nice to me? Won't your girlfriend be upset?
But in the end, she lowered her head and said,
No need, my roommate is bringing me dinner. I'll head back to the dorm now. Thank you, senior.
She turned to leave, silently reminding herself that he has a girlfriend and she shouldn't get too close. But this time, he grabbed her wrist. The warmth from his hand spread quickly, reaching her head and making her feel feverish.
Is there something else, senior?
He quickly let go of her hand, turning his face away. His dark hair made the redness of his ears even more noticeable. In a soft voice, he said,
It's late. Let me walk you back.
No, I can.
Let's go.
She couldn't refuse. The setting sun stretched their shadows long, blending the campus's charming scenery into the endless twilight.
If only this road could be longer.
She looked at Ethan. His expression was complex and lingering, as if he had something to say.
I'm here. Thank you, senior.
Okay, bye.
Back in the dorm, the girls' gossiping spirits were ablaze, and everyone came up to ask questions.
Emma, that's the most popular guy in school. He stood up for you.
Yeah, does he like you?
Don't be ridiculous. He has a girlfriend.
Who told you that? Everyone knows he's single.
Emma paused, then stood up from her chair and ran out of the dorm. Ethan shouldn't have gone far. She saw his figure in a white shirt, walking alone on the path they had just taken. His shadow was long, making him look particularly lonely and indifferent.
Senior Ethan.
The wind rustled the leaves like silver bells. The twilight turned into colorful fairies, and the scene of him turning back was beautiful.
Emma.
His indifferent expression softened when he saw her.
The photo you took of me last time was beautiful.
Emma walked towards him step by step, the wind rustling the leaves and stirring her eager heart. Smiling, she asked,
If you haven't deleted it, can you add me on WeChat and send it to me?
She thought she should be braver. She's no longer the chubby girl she used to be. This time, no one will say she's delusional. Gradually, Emma started getting closer to Ethan. Sometimes, she would get up early to bring him breakfast. Sometimes, he would wait for her outside the art studio, and they would go to lunch together.
Senior, why are you here?
After class, Emma came out of the art studio and saw him playing with his phone, a bag slung over one shoulder. She walked over, smiling unconsciously. He put away his phone, shook his head, and said gently,
"It's fine. Let's go to the South Garden for lunch. The food there is good."
And so, their friendship deepened. Ethan had been anxious from the start. He couldn't even look at me while eating.
"Hey, do you have something to tell me?"
I paused, sensing his unease.
"I've been asked to play the piano at the freshman welcome party. But playing alone is too monotonous. The student council wants me to ask you to join me as a partner."
I looked at Ethan. This was indeed a difficult request for me. But this was a rare opportunity to perform on the same stage as Ethan. If I missed it...
"Of course, if it's too much for you, you can refuse. I
can do it. But if you're playing the piano, what can I do to partner with you?
You know how to do sand art, right?"
I nodded, then shook my head.
I've done sand art before, but never with professional tools. I'm not sure if I can do it.
"Do you have any classes this afternoon? I can take you to the practice room to try it out."
No classes.
We went to the practice room, and with my drawing skills, I quickly mastered sand art. I became Ethan's stage partner, and we met almost every day to rehearse. One day during rehearsal, my phone rang.
Hey, Mom. I paused the rehearsal and signaled to Ethan that I was stepping out to take a call. I've been eating well, much better than before. Don't worry.
The doctor said you shouldn't be stressed. I was worried about you during the military training, but you insisted on going.
It's been a long time since I was sick. I'm taking my medication on time, and I'm really much better now. I have to go to class. Talk to you later.
I hung up the phone and sighed in relief. In truth, my eating disorder had started to relapse. The thought of performing on stage with Ethan, facing the audience, I feared the judgment of others and the words that made me feel unworthy, just like in high school. Look at her, trying to get close to the most popular guy. He's so unlucky to be pestered by such a person. It seemed that overcoming mental fear was still very difficult.
"Emma," Ethan called out to me as he came out of the practice room, noticing I was lost in thought. "How about we go see a movie later? You seem really stressed lately. It might help you relax."
Sure.
Was this a date? But I didn't expect Ethan to choose a horror movie.
"Emma, if you get scared, you can hold my hand."
I shivered in fright, but stubbornly said,
No need, I'm not scared.
"I was worried you might be too scared to watch." "Guess I was wrong," Ethan said with a raised eyebrow and a smile. Then he suddenly asked, "Why are you wearing earphones? Listening to music?"
He then took my earphones and put them in his ears.
Wait.
Hello. Old. Ethan had been trying not to laugh since he heard the music from the headphones.
"Senior, it must be hard to hold back your laughter."
Haha, Ethan.
Ethan finally burst out laughing, shedding his initial gentle demeanor.
"I really didn't expect this, sorry."
Suddenly, everything around Emma started to blur, and even Ethan appeared to have a double image. She couldn't stand steadily and slowly fell backward.
"Emma, what's wrong?"
Ethan caught Emma in his arms, calling her name, but she lacked the strength to respond. When she woke up again, she found herself in a hospital bed.
You're awake.
Ethan, sitting beside the bed, looked exhausted and worried as he gazed at Emma. He fetched some warm water and helped her sit up.
I can do it myself.
Ethan handed the water to Emma without insisting.
The doctor said you fainted due to extreme hunger. Do you have an eating disorder?
Emma drank the water and then nodded.
Is it because your high school classmates always said you bullied them? So you...
Ethan suddenly stepped forward and hugged Emma, his words pouring into her ear.
I'm sorry. I should have guessed earlier.
Emma's grip on the cup tightened. She didn't understand why Ethan was apologizing, but questions arose in her heart.
Ethan, you know I'm Emma, the girl who was a year behind you in high school. You recognized me, didn't you?
I recognized you from the photo on the confession wall.
Then why did you pretend not to know me?
Ethan was momentarily stunned, his eyes filled with complex emotions.
Why did you pretend not to know me?
At that time, I thought you had a girlfriend, so I naturally didn't have the courage to say anything. No reason.
Ethan didn't press further. He went to buy some porridge and waited for Emma to finish her 4-drip before they left the hospital together. After being discharged, Ethan advised Emma not to attend the freshman welcome party, fearing it would worsen her condition.
But with only a week left until the performance at the welcome party, I naturally wouldn't back out.
Ethan couldn't persuade her and had to give up. Ever since Ethan found out Emma ended up in the hospital because she wasn't eating properly, he started showing up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At 8 in the morning, just as Emma and her roommates were leaving the dormitory, they saw Ethan standing in front of them with breakfast.
Supervising your meals.
Thank you. I smiled as I took the breakfast and casually chatted. Have you eaten? Next time, let me know in advance, and we can go to the cafeteria together.
Okay.
Sarah, sitting next to Emma, sang quietly.
Sweetly, you smile so sweetly.
What are you doing?
I'm telling you, the campus heartthrob definitely likes you. When do you plan to confess?
Ever since Emma's dorm mates found out she liked Ethan, they had been encouraging her.
Let's wait and see.
They didn't know that Ethan and Emma had known each other since high school. They just thought they were a perfect match. But Emma was still afraid of being presumptuous. The bell signaling the end of class rang out. The students crowded out of the classroom, and amidst the throng, my eyes immediately found Ethan.
Ethan. Over here.
I wove through the crowd, a smile playing on my lips as I walked towards him. But then I wondered if I should be braver.
Regardless of whether Ethan likes me or not, I should express my feelings.
The freshman welcome party is starting now. The welcome party was supposed to take place a few days after military training, but due to the pandemic, it was postponed until halfway through the semester. Ethan wasn't just my partner for the performance. He was also the host of the welcome party. He co-hosted with a stunningly beautiful girl on stage, and I felt a wave of insecurity wash over me.
Having a crush on someone, regardless of appearances, always brings sensitivity and self-doubt.
Next, we have Emma from the art department and Ethan from the physics department performing piano and sand art. After hosting, Ethan was supposed to wait for me on stage, but he walked towards me instead, looking dapper in his suit, his hair slicked back in a mature style, quite different from his usual youthful exuberance.
Shall we?
I lifted my dress, reached out, and took his hand. Together, we walked towards the stage, the spotlight illuminating the space between us. It felt like a wedding ceremony, with the officiant asking us to exchange rings. I narrated a story while creating sand art, blending seamlessly with Ethan's piano music. When the performance ended, We received a lot of applause and praise.
I need to wash my hands.
I took my clothes and left the backstage area to go to the restroom, planning to change my outfit as well. Only the final performance was left before the event concluded. I had brought a painting, one I made the day I asked Ethan for his WeChat. It depicted him standing between two trees, turning back in a white shirt. On the back of the painting, I had written, "I am drawn to the light," and the words I planned to say to him, "I like you." But what I didn't expect was that my courage would turn into fear once again. Backstage, the girl who had been co-hosting with Ethan was confessing her feelings to him.
Ethan, I really like you.
I'm sorry.
Suddenly, another male voice, probably his roommate, chimed in.
Senior, give up. Ethan is very devoted. He's liked a girl for 4 years now.
I should have opened the door and asked who the girl Ethan had liked for 4 years was. Was it the girl from the music room?
But in the end, I ran away. Emma's thoughts were a whirlwind of confusion and heartache. She had been avoiding the truth about Ethan's feelings for far too long.
Ethan, do you have someone you like?
Deep down, Emma suspected he might not have forgotten the girl from the music room, but she had her own selfish hopes.
Maybe, if I spend more time with him, he might come to like me too.
But she never imagined he had liked someone else for 4 years, just as she had liked him for 3. Her feelings for Ethan were like mint candies, bitter at first, but leaving a sweet aftertaste. She couldn't forget her secret love for him.
How could he possibly forget someone he's liked for 4 years?
Emma wandered aimlessly back to the dormitory, her phone ringing. It was Ethan.
Hello? Emma, why aren't you back yet?
I'm not feeling well, so I went back early.
She hung up immediately. In the dorm, Sarah noticed her return.
Emma, why are you back too?
Emma clung to Sarah like a lifeline, her words drowned in sobs, barely coherent.
Sarah, what should I do? Ethan has someone he's liked for 4 years. He won't like me, what should I do?
That night, Emma cried for a long time, and her dorm mates comforted her. It was late, so she told them she would go to bed to avoid troubling them further. Tossing and turning in bed, she finally checked her phone and saw a message from Ethan.
Is this painting yours? They said you painted it to look like me.
Yes, it's for you. If you don't like it, just throw it away.
Then she blocked Ethan. In hindsight, Emma realized Ethan's kindness to her over this period was probably out of guilt. After all, it was he who partnered with her, leading to her relapse and hospitalization.
Fate has been kind to me. When I found out Ethan confessed to someone else in high school, I wanted to escape.
The next day, Emma went to training with the art students, determined to avoid him again. After a few days of hiding, the teacher announced they would go to Longtan Mountain Scenic Area for field sketching. In late autumn, the wind was bleak, and the falling maple leaves made it a perfect place for sketching. It also calmed her recently troubled heart. But avoidance only delays the inevitable. She didn't expect Ethan to come looking for her. That day, Emma was sitting with her classmates, sketching. Ethan stood not far away, the autumn wind blowing red leaves from the trees. His trench coat made him look desolate and lonely. After a week of not seeing him, Emma's heart started to race again. After class, she pretended to pack up her art supplies casually and took a different path. Ethan approached Emma, grabbing her wrist firmly.
Emma, are you trying to run away again?
Run away? We never had anything between us.
Ethan's grip tightened, his voice filled with a mix of anger and sorrow.
Nothing between us? Then why did you write "I am tempted by the light" on the painting you gave me? You like me, don't you?
Emma's heart skipped a beat, and her art supplies fell to the ground. With her secret exposed, there was no point in hiding anymore.
Yes, I like you. So what? Don't you have a girl you've liked for 4 years? The one you confessed to in the music room?
Ethan released Emma's wrist and leaned his forehead against her shoulder, speaking in a muffled voice.
The person I've always liked is you, Emma.
What are you saying?
Emma stepped back, but tripped over a paintbrush on the ground, falling backward. Ethan tried to catch her, and they both ended up on the grass. They sat up from the grass, unexpectedly locking eyes.
Ha ha. You look like a little crying kitten.
Ethan wiped away Emma's tears. Emma was stunned for a moment, then joined in his laughter.
So the girl in the high school music room was your cousin?
Yes, that day I was planning to confess to you. My cousin knew I liked you and came to watch. She got bored and asked me to practice how I would confess, but I never expected you to come out of class early.
But I was quite chubby back then. How could you have liked me for 4 years?
Maybe it was the day you came to our school for the art exam.
Ethan's eyes were filled with tenderness, and he smiled gently, his voice as soft as jade.
Emma, I like you. I've always liked you. Would you go to Tongxuan University with me?
This was a long overdue confession from high school.
I would.
Seeing Ethan was about to speak again, Emma covered his mouth and spoke first.
Ethan, I've liked you for a long time too, and I still do. She paused, then lowered her hand, her eyes full of joy. So, will you be my boyfriend?
Maple leaves fell from the trees, the sun shone brightly, and the wind carried the sound of wind chimes, spreading endless love. The young man bent down silently, and Emma closed her eyes, kissing him. Luckily, they didn't miss each other, and there were no regrets.
Thank you for accepting the timid and insecure me. I am tempted by the light. I love you, Ethan.